As the special election approaches for State Senate District 19, WIS-TV wants to help voters get to know the candidates and drill down on some of the most relevant issues. We've invited all of the candidates to join us for a one-on-one interview. Joining us today is Dr. Michael Addison. Dr. Addison, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, let's jump right into it. So listing your qualifications, explain to voters why you are the best candidate for the seat.
Because of my skill set. I've been a practicing chiropractic physician for 32 years. I've treated over 15,000 patients. I've seen people from all walks of life. And as a physician, you get to see people sometimes at their worst and sometimes at their best, especially if you can get them better. And so that gives me an opportunity to help people when they're in a time of need, but they also come back to me for things for their children, for their schools, for their civic organizations. So I'm not your typical politician. I don't even consider myself a politician. I consider myself as a citizen of this community, someone who loves being involved and engaged in the community. And I won't give you all of the rhetoric, all the fluff. I just like being straightforward, doing what it takes, diagnose the situation, do what it takes to get us better and correct the situation. So with my skill set and the training that I've had from environmental training to healthcare training and just social skills of working with tons of people, we hear the voices of the people and we like to answer their call.
If elected, what would be your #1 legislative priority?
My #1 legislative priority would be, I will first start dealing with homelessness within the community. And there's several factors contributing to homelessness. We have a high rate of rental costs, which most people in our district cannot afford based on their salaries. Secondly, we have some unscrupulous companies purchasing single-family homes, and they're tightening the screws on judges unfairly, in my opinion, and it's forcing judges to make decisions that normally they wouldn't make and putting people out, and that's contributing to the homelessness. And so homelessness and the food deserts are things that I will focus on. I guess to sum it up, I would say constituent services. Constituent services are most important to me because oftentimes people get elected, they go into their seat, and they just deal with the legislation that's being handed to them. But I want to deal with constituent services on a daily basis. But you know, my day one started 4 years ago, so we're already in the game.
Well, there's plenty of opportunity for development in District 19. We've seen a portion of that being capitalized by investors in Blythewood. How would you balance the opportunity for growth with the concerns of citizens who are against it?
Well, full disclosure, as the chairman of the environmental committee for the state conference NAACP, I am cautiously concerned about businesses and other things that come to our communities that might affect our environment. We have a company called Scout Motors that's coming to Blythewood offering 4,000 jobs. My question is, will those jobs be filled by locals, and have we connected with the trade schools so that we can have people trained and qualified to fit those jobs? Secondly, we're talking about batteries. Batteries carry lead. I want to know, and I got to study more on the environmental studies to see if that lead going to be spilled over into our system as far as our water and things of that nature, which probably not, but I want to make sure the safeguards are there. So being in business for 30-something years, I believe there can be a sweet balance between the two as long as we don't get greedy on either side.
Gun violence is a top issue amongst voters. If elected, what actionable steps would you take to help combat the issue in District 19?
Well, first of all, guns are not violent. People are. Guns don't kill people. People do. And so just like we have driver's education, I think we should have gun control education starting in high school. If our young people are going to have access to guns, whether we provide them as parents or our leaders or not, but they have access to them. I think, and because we don't want to challenge their constitutional right to bear arms, I think we should educate our young people and our community on the proper use of guns, because oftentimes people are uneducated and they're handling a gun. I see them looking at TV shows and they're shooting sideways, and that's not how you aim. But they don't have the proper training. And I believe if they understand that guns are not used to specifically resolve a conflict, that we have other measures, and we only go to that when we're trying to protect ourselves. And I think conflict resolution is very important and should be a part of gun control education. But I would never take away people's rights to have guns.
The late Senator John Scott was a huge advocate for education. What is your approach to helping underperforming schools in the district?
Well, we have several things that we've looked at, and the studies show that K through 3, we have a positive outcome with our students. And after the 3rd grade, we begin to lose certain students, in particular the black male student. And so what I would want to do is encourage retired school teachers to get involved, encourage parents to get involved with retired school teachers so that we can move forward in working with our students after school. See, because my grandmother taught us that charity begins at home. So we have to start training our young people at home. My grandmother taught us to read in Sunday school. Before we even got to kindergarten, we were reading because we had to do Sunday school classes and Bible verses. And so one of the issues that I see happening is that our community, the village, is not engaging with our students. Oftentimes our seniors are afraid of some of our young people, and we need to change that. We need to change that so our young people know that you're going to have respect for the elders in your community, and we want you to be partners, work together.
You have 1 minute to tell viewers your final pitch as to why they should vote for you as the next senator of District 19.
Well, like I said earlier, my day one started 4 years ago. We started working with COVID when no one was interested in getting out there and everyone was afraid and there was no funds available and we were all shocked trying to figure out what to do in the pandemic. We take the bull by the horn. We get inside the district, see what the issues are, which most of us know what the issues are, and then we work towards correcting those issues. And so, but we need a collaborative effort. It can't just be the senator. The senator is just one individual. I think what we should have, I'm encouraging 10 people to become registered lobbyists within this district. You know, everybody said, well, why 10? I said, well, Jesus had 12, but one betrayed him and the other one denied him 3 times, so I'm gonna stick with 10. You know, my chances are better. But if people get engaged in the process and don't just leave it to the General Assembly, become a part of it. They wanna hear from you. And so my thing is to encourage the voters. Don't just hang around me during an election. Get engaged, get involved. Encourage me to come out and work with you on a routine basis as often as we can.
Dr. Michael Addison, thank you so much for joining us. And as a reminder, early voting for District 19's special election runs through Friday, December 29th. The general election will then follow on Tuesday, January 2nd. The polls will be open starting at 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. To find your precinct and to watch the full one-on-one candidate interviews, you can head to our website, wistv.com.